up, y'all? It's Papa's Cracking. It's D-Boss here. I see this chick Smooth It. It's titled Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Biggs, and Memphis Bleak go off after woman admits to lying in Jay-Z and Diddy lawsuit. Well, would you looky? Would you looky? There have been several things that have come out that has exposed the inconsistencies in this lady's story. Apparently, there are several holes in her story. I saw a headline just a little bit ago where the dad has come out and said that, oh, she lied. I didn't pick her up from anywhere. She's saying in the lawsuit that I was involved in this. I wasn't involved in this. I don't want no parts of this lie. Her own daddy. So it's coming out that there's a strong possibility that this woman was lying the whole time. So that was my point. Wait for more information to come out. Wait for more evidence before you're so quick to jump on a hate train and a bandwagon with your follower ass. That was the point. It was never about protecting no damn Jay-Z. And people, oh, you got a biased reaction and you defensive in this reaction. Jay-Z, of all people, I'm going to defend fucking Jay-Z. If it was J. Cole, maybe it would make more sense that you would have that suspicion. Even then, I would never defend J. Cole, especially with something this serious. But Jay-Z? I'm like, this don't even make sense. Y'all just pulling anything out y'all ass to support y'all bullshit story because y'all want to cancel him. So that was the point. My reaction was not defensive or emotional, as some people say, oh, this is an emotional reaction. Emotional to what? What emotions do I have tied to Jay-Z? Y'all don't ever hear me say anything about him. I don't even listen to his music. I'm gonna fuck about him. I'm gonna fuck about Beyonce and how she's tied to this. She could go too. She could be canceled too if she on some bullshit. So what are y'all talking about? I speak with conviction and passion. I'm sorry that some of y'all are boring. I'm sorry that you speak with monotone. That ain't me. That ain't my life. This is how I talk. I'm talking about a lot of stuff. Especially if I had some caffeine before my reactions. I'm going to talk with passion. All right? Sorry to break it to you. I don't know. Don't mean I'm emotionally attached to what I'm talking about in any of these videos. But I'm going to give my opinion with conviction. That's how I talk. Hello. Welcome to the channel. Anyway. Let's hear what these people have to say about this woman lying. Let's watch.
Oh man, the apology better be as loud as the disrespect. Now, earlier this week, a lawsuit was filed on Jay-Z, alleging that he raped a 13-year-old girl with Diddy back in 2000. Now, once this news broke, I swear it opened up a portal of hell for all conspiracy theorists to basically come out and say, hey, finally, we got him. We were right, you guys. There's a lot of people out there that want to see famous people go down.
Exactly.
Whether actor, rapper, if you're rich and famous, they think you did something strange and shady to get where you are.
You'll even hear people say that, oh, people who have a lot of money, they didn't get there, by being ethical. They all are evil. They all did something wrong. So some of y'all have that weirdo mindset that, oh, you became a billionaire by being involved in pedo rings and selling children and organs. Like, y'all all think like, well, not all, obviously, but a lot of the conspiracy theorists and people who want to cancel these celebrities, they all think like that.
Honestly, when Diddy got locked up earlier this year for his sexual charges, everybody told you guys shit was weird up there. Now let's see who else was involved. They started looking at everybody that's close to Diddy, Kevin Hart, LeBron James, Jay-Z. Shit, even now that LeBron James is missing a couple games for personal reason, people are suggesting and also connecting him to whatever Diddy got going on.
What?
So people were foaming at the mouth when this lawsuit was brought onto Jay-Z.
Sad.
According to the 13-year-old girl, she went to a VMA's after party at Diddy's spot. Somebody gave her a drink. She found a room to go lay down. Then Jay-Z and Diddy comes inside, and that's where she's claiming the raping happened. Now, 10 minutes after the news broke, we saw Jay-Z fire back with a response, but this Jay-Z response was very interesting. He really did not speak too much about the details of the lawsuit. However, Jay-Z attacked the character of the lawyer, Tony Busby. He called out Tony for basically trying to blackmail him behind the scenes, and when Jay-Z refused, that's when Tony added his name to the lawsuit and went public with it. Obviously, you guys know what this lawsuit can do to somebody's reputation and also the people around that person. Jay-Z mentioned in his response that this is something he's now gonna have to address with his daughter. He said, my daughter's friends are at the age where they see stuff about me in the media. They get to asking my daughter, yo, what's this lawsuit with your dad? And then I gotta come in and have this uncomfortable conversation, all because Tony Busby wants money from me. Now, even after Jay-Z's response, a lot of people did not believe he was innocent. People said, hey, well, if we're believing all women, why are we making an exception?
And I don't agree with that. And y'all are goofy for even having that ideology, believe all women. Are you dumb? all women are not all telling the truth. That's a very dangerous statement to throw out there. You have to believe all women. There have been countless women who have come out and lied about men raping them and gotten men killed. Emmett Till. So you can't believe all women. That's so stupid. Or even believe all victims. Again, that's so stupid because not everybody is honest. So that's not what people are saying. They're saying hear the victims out. Of course, don't immediately shut them down. And that's why I never said that the woman was lying initially. I just said we should wait for more information. So I think it's wrong to automatically say someone's lying or automatically shut them down. But I don't believe in that mentality of, believe all victims and believe all women. Are y'all stupid? Who would think that? As if they're not evil women out there. What are you talking about?
For Jay-Z. Well, sometimes things are not always black and white. Yesterday, Jay-Z's grave accuser came to NBC News and she actually acknowledges inconsistencies in her allegations, which you guys know is a no-no in court. If you're going to accuse somebody of something like this, you gotta make sure you got your story straight. Mm-hmm. And very importantly, you also gotta make sure you're telling the truth and the incidents actually happened. Now, some of the mistakes she claims she made was saying that her dad was actually the one that picked her up from the gas station. NBC News called up her dad and said, "Hey brother, do you remember picking her up from this gas station about 20 years ago?" Her pop said, "No, I have no recollection of that." Not only that, but the celebrities that she claims she spoke with at the party, some of those celebrities are coming out and saying, "Brother, I was not there. I was on tour." And also details about the actual location of the after party just doesn't seem to be true. She claimed the party happened at a mansion that was owned by Diddy. People got to researching and found out, Diddy did not own a mansion at that time. He was actually living in a townhouse. Shout out to this TikToker, Black Girls Who Brunch. She actually broke down some of the inconsistencies from her statements. Here's what she said.
So I am an attorney. One of the areas of law that I have the most experience in is working with SA victims. So I worked on college campuses for the bulk of my career doing investigations into Title IX issues. This often involves SA, harassment, stalking, exploitation, domestic violence, all those different things. I was a neutral investigator for the university, and I had to investigate these cases using the legal standard preponderance of the evidence, which means that it's like 51% chance this is what happened. That is the standard for civil cases. So what we're going to look at as I talk here is not that she lying, they made it up, it's a cash grab. We're going to look at, based off what they put in these court documents in the interview we saw, can they prove by a preponderance of the evidence in court that this happened? Based on what I have seen, I'm going to say no. That does not make her a liar. That doesn't make this a cash grab. Doesn't make any of those things. My whole point here is that they cannot prove in court by a preponderance of the evidence that this happened. Now, in the interview, a couple things that stood out to me. So first off, we were very curious about where this girl lived at the time. So she currently lives in Alabama. At the time of this incident, she lived in Rochester, New York. Now, let's keep in mind, they're kind of dropping that off in this article like it's like Katy to Houston proper. That city is 5 hours from New York. 5 hours. Mm-hmm. So for this to work, I have to understand that somebody was, when she says that, I had a friend give me a ride to the VMAs. Saying giving me a ride to me implies they're going down the street. Driving 5 hours, that's not giving you a ride. That's a road trip. And this person had to drive you 5 hours, which is a whole commitment. Are you paying for the gas, the snacks, and then drive back home? I'm struggling with that. I am. Other thing is, she's from upstate New York, Rochester. I think that's considered upstate. I know people in that area. It is very different than New York City. She's also, as I can tell from the pictures, they darken her, but I do not think this is a black woman. So I'm to believe someone from a smaller city. So she's not from like a LA, Chicago, Miami, because a 13-year-old from them kind of cities is going to be able to navigate spaces differently than a 13-year-old from
That's a fact.
A smaller mid-sized city like Rochester. I'm to believe that a 13-year-old from a smaller city was able to navigate New York like that. That just feels weird to me, and it's hard for me to imagine. I would need to have additional context about, well, how often did you go to New York? Have you gone by yourself before? Because I'm just having a hard time visualizing that. As I told you in my other video, this is just me. If I'm a juror, I'm going to have a hard time visualizing how a white 13-year-old was able to move into this space and be, according to her, hold conversations with all these celebrities and not alarm anybody? That's odd to me. So according to her, she talked to the twins from Good Charlotte, Nicole Richie, or is it Cameron Diaz's husband, about his tattoos. This is I can't remember if it's Benji, which brother it is. And I talked to him about his tattoos, so he knows I was there. They reached out to Benji. Benji said, well, guess what? We weren't at the VMAs that year. We were on tour in the Midwest. And I believe that's something that there's probably really good documents of that, even though it's 20 years ago, that you were on tour somewhere else and not at the VMAs. Mm-hmm. So there goes that part of her story. The other thing that I find to be interesting is the fact that the story is that she's assaulted, a woman celebrity witnesses the assault. They haven't said who that person is. She leaves and runs to a gas station. And I was I'm like, I need to understand how this works, because I grew up in the suburbs. Yes, you have gas stations, but they're not always super close. So how long did you run? I was curious about that. According to her, she calls her father to come get her.
That is very interesting, because I'm thinking of the mansions here in the LA area and like Beverly Hills and Hollywood Hills. They are in the cuts. The nearest gas station is about 5-minute drive. Like, you ain't running to no gas station nearby. But I mean, every area is different, so we can't say for sure, but that is very suspicious.
And now my question is, where was your father? Because if he's at home in Rochester, that is a 5-hour drive to come get you in the city. What did you do for 5 hours? Were you just hanging out in this gas station? Like, that's an interesting, to me, a big part of the story. So that part of the story is missing. And again, some of it could be missing because of trauma and time. Like I said, I'm not calling her a liar. I'm talking about what can you prove in court. That 5-hour time period, I think, is odd. Here's the bigger thing, though. NBC calls her dad. Hey, do you remember the situation? He says, I don't remember ever picking her up from an incident like that. He's like, I feel like I remember that. I don't remember that. Not having her father be able to corroborate that story, to me, the story is done.
Now, Jay-Z put out a statement yesterday after the girl admitted some mistakes in her statement. He said, today's investigative report proves this attorney Busby filed a false complaint against me in pursuit of money and fame.
Yeah, why didn't this attorney thoroughly go over all the details of her story before even following through with this? That's very odd. And that does kind of sound like he was thirsty to get some money. Like, oh, we about to win this case, or they about to pay us off to shut up. Like, let's just go forward with this. Because, yeah, these are big holes in the story.
This incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it in court and doubled down in the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory. This was over before it began. This 1-800 lawyer doesn't realize it yet, but soon. Now, Jay-Z's lawyer also spoke out as well. He said it is stunning that a lawyer would not only file such a serious complaint without proper vetting, but make things worse by further peddling this false story in the press. We are asking the court to dismiss this frivolous case today, and will take up the matter of additional discipline from Mr. Busby and all the lawyers that filed the complaint. Now, Jay-Z started to receive some support from some of his colleagues. Biggs posted the interview the woman had with NBC.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury. The night of the 2000s VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman says she spoke to Combs's limo driver, who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver, who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
She went to a White House, she says, where she spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo because, I have about his tattoo that's the Last Supper, because I have a religious background, so it was just something to talk about.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative of the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at the time. At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter took turns raping her while a female celebrity watched.
JC comes in and rapes me, he at that point I was fighting, trying to get away from him, and he put his hand over my mouth and told me to stop it, cut the.
After the alleged rape, she says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me what I did or where I was.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. Quote, "I felt like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but I mean, that's something that would definitely stick in my mind," he said. When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday, she said that she stands by her statement.
Big said about that interview, sad that an autistic woman lies like this, and lawyer didn't invent this at all.
Why
Then
you find
accuses
that she
Jay-Z
autistic?
of rape. Glad the truth is coming out. Memphis Bleak said niggas really tried the God. Hashtag Marcy don't raise those. Even 50 Cent had to come out and retract some of his jokes. 50 posted this picture saying not guilty. Then he wrote in the comments, man, the bitch lying. Her own daddy wouldn't support the story. Could have ruined the man's life. What the fuck? Busby gotta pay for this shit. Now you know you messed up when you got 50 actually defending Jay-Z. Now, this leaves Tony Busby in a very awkward spot. He spoke out yesterday after the mistake was made public. He said, yo guys, look, Jane Doe's case was referred to our firm by another firm who actually vetted it prior to sending it to us. I hope you guys are watching what Tony's trying to do right there. Hey, listen, man, we didn't go seeking this out. Somebody gave it to us, and
You
those
should've
people that
vetted it
gave it to
again.
us, they vetted her, not us. Now, Tony goes on to say, our client remains fiercely adamant that what she has stated is true to the best of her memory. We always do our best to vet each claim made, just as we did in this case. This has been extremely distressing for her, to the point she has experienced seizures and had to seek medical treatment due to stress. Well, what about the stress that you're putting on Jay-Z over these quote-unquote false claims? Interesting, Tony. Listen, man, you guys get in the car.
And listen, I am not saying that this lady is lying 100%. I was not there. I don't know what the fuck happened, okay? I can't speak on this with certainty at all. None of y'all can. Nobody can if we were not there. But it is just very, very suspicious because there are so many holes in her story that doesn't make sense. And Judge Judy always says, when something don't make sense, it's a lie. It's a lie. That's a big hole in her story that, oh, you ran to the gas station from a mansion. Oh, a mansion that Diddy didn't even own at the time. He was in a condo. And oh, you called your daddy to come pick you up and he drove 5 hours away. So you was just chilling at the gas station for 5 hours. But then your daddy saying he don't even remember doing that. Like, it's just too many holes. And it just sounds like it may be a bit fabricated. Is all I'm saying. But this also doesn't mean that Jay-Z is completely innocent. I'm not saying that at all either. He could definitely be guilty of some other shit. He could be guilty of doing some heinous shit with Diddy. Him and Diddy was tight. So maybe there is some other dirt on him that will come out in the future. So this is not at all me saying, oh, look, he's an innocent man. He ain't doing nothing. He's an angel. I'm not saying that at all. I don't know what to think of any of these people. I don't know what the fuck they doing in their free time. So, you know, if something else come out and we got more information, then sure. If there's more proof that points to him being guilty, then sure, we'll discuss it and I'll be like, all right, this sounds like he's guilty. But my whole point was I'm not about to jump on no bandwagon and say somebody's guilty when we don't really have any evidence. And then look what ended up happening when we got more information. So that was the whole point. But yeah, this whole situation is a mess. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you're going to watch and I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye!